threes in that second quarter, and then for you guys to come back the way you did in the third. What did you do in that second half, particularly the third quarter, that allowed you to get out on some of those runs?
Yeah, I think, understanding when a team is hot, but also, not accepting the fact that you can't impact, some of those looks, even if it's a split second or, the pass isn't quite as accurate or an extra rotation. So I thought, we cleaned up some stuff in pick and roll where their bigs pop and they're making shots, and you're switching your, O and Larry on a Dame. And it's kind of a pick your poison thing, but I thought our guys executed in that and tried to get out of his hands. And unfortunate they missed a few. And then on our end, when the ball's going through the net like that, if you allow it to be deflating, which I think we fought that pretty well, but it really slows the game down when you don't get stopped. So it can kind of hit you on both sides. But I thought halftime our guys kind of got more determined on it, adjusted a little bit, and they executed and started talking.
And then Mo with 4 blocks tonight, it seems like he was getting into the right position at the right time. How have you seen him sort of develop to kind of impact shots in that way?
Yeah, I think, we talked a little bit last week, and I asked him, what position are you? And he doesn't have to be a position. You are who you can guard. And his versatility allows him, to guard multiple positions, and when he is off the ball in those help situations, as you said, he's long, and I think he's gotten even more instinctive. He hasn't had a chance to play for a long period of time until this year, and you could just see him kind of settling down. Those blocks are, obviously his length, but also his anticipation.
And Coach Quin, talk about this, man. Your guys really giving it on both ends of the floor. 4 guys in double figures, doubles rather.
Mm-hmm.
And just talk about the guys collectively after all these trades, with people coming in and playing the right way for you guys, like impacting the game and winning, coming back after a big time.
Yeah, I feel good about our commitment to playing the way that we want to play. Every team's a little different. I think the thing that you try to do is evolve from a system standpoint and a style of play standpoint to help your players be in the best position for them to succeed. So we've been committed to that, and you don't always do it, but we all know what that's like. You can be committed to something and not always have it happen. But I thought tonight, the way we came out, especially, you could really feel the ball moving and guys spacing, and then it gets a little harder, when Lauren said they're making a lot of shots. But, I do think our guys, believe in that, playing with pace, playing with the pass, and they know that, they'll share the ball with one another, so they're spacing.
Coach, Dyson had 10 assists tonight. He's had 28.
Yeah, Australian question again.
He earned it tonight. But just on that, he's averaging 7 per game in February. It's only 4 games in, but have you spoken to him or worked on something about that with his playmaking, or is this just an evolution of his offensive game?
He's in the gym, and during the course of an NBA season, if you have a practice or a shoot around, whatever it is, we've got a number of guys. Yak has been in the gym. Guys are in the gym, and working with our assistant coaches. And those are the guys. Dyson, obviously, but it's one of the reasons that I speak so highly of my staff, because it's not just preparation and execution and those things. Those relationships and the player development, and that partnership you have with the player, where you listen to the player and you also coach the player, and that means. When you're in the gym and you're working and you're deliberate, you get better. And I think for Dyson, some of it, getting better is sometimes getting more aggressive and making reads that when you work on something consistently, usually you want to apply it. And he's just been attacking the rim. And one of the biggest things is he's keeping his feet on the floor. Obviously he shoots his floater, but there's a lot of times where he's not committing to shooting or passing, and then guys are playing off him. So there's a lot of things going on there, but At the core of it, he works on his game, you know, and he's confident, and you know, I'd be crazy to tell him not to be aggressive. So that's been a consistent thing since he's gotten here, you know, believing him in that regard, and that's how you get better.
Coach Jared touched on it a little bit with the double figure scoring, but there were 4 different guys with double doubles tonight. And what was the, I guess, messaging or commitment tonight with guys crashing the glass, especially with Milwaukee being a team as big as they are?
Yeah, that's something we've done historically and talked about, but I think there's been some slippage there. And to our guys' credit, it was something that was brought up this morning pretty poignantly. And they, you know, it's always nice when you have carryover on certain points of emphasis in a given game plan. Credit to our guys for crashing.
Coach, Mo's on an NBA contract, but he spent most of his year in the G League. In your conversations with Steve or what you've seen on video, have you been able to track what he's done there, and what is it that you were looking for him to do in his G League time?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's consistent with all our guys that are playing there. And you know, Epe spent a ton of time with him throughout the preseason, during the season. Those guys are, you know, in constant communication, watching film of his games. He gets in when he's, you know, with us or available, and you know, we're all on the same page. That's where Steve's done a terrific job. You know, it's been good for him to be on the court. That's the first thing, where he's gotten healthy and he's working on his body and, you know, getting stronger. But more than anything, just playing the minutes. You need to compete and play sometimes to just figure stuff out, and that's why you have a G League team. And as I said, the way that, you know, we're using him, so to speak, is with his versatility and, you know, to be fearless when he plays. You know, that's one of the things. I hope that, you know, you can be aggressive and not afraid, and still be disciplined. And I think one of the biggest things for Mo is just to let it loose. You know, it was good. First game he played, you know, a week or two ago. You know, I don't know what he was from 3, but it wasn't a great night. But it actually was, because he took 6 threes, and that's the mindset that, you know, we want him and our other guys to have. That's why you put the work in.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.